the Wi-Fi box. Hey, you guys! I have such a hard time staring at that little green dot up there. I know this is an impromptu live. I usually have them scheduled, but I didn't schedule this one. I figured I would hang out with you guys this evening and we just shoot the breeze and see what's going on with y'all and go from there. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of time for everybody to try to come in and get the notification. Hopefully your bell is on and you get the notification. If not, you'll see eventually. I'm gonna fix some hot tea while we're waiting. Say hi. It's up there. Got it. There you go.
Hi guys.
It's hard staring upward. So let's see who's joining me today. I have nothing on the agenda. I just feel like I haven't hung out with you guys in a very long time where we just kind of talking and shooting the breeze. And so I'm doing that tonight. Just for a little while. I'm gonna make some hot tea because I'm part British. Or at least I think I am. I'm gonna make me some hot tea over here in the kitchen. So I'll turn it this way. We'll see who comes up. Hey, Miss Margaret, how are you? My garden is growing. I'm super excited about that. My garden is starting to grow. And have you ever met those people that get off of work and then don't take off their work clothes? Well, hi, that's me. So I'm gonna make some hot tea. I like organic tea, so I have some organic peppermint tea. I'm gonna have some of that while we chit chat. How's it been going, Miss Margaret? I don't want anything, guys. I'm just on to say hi. So let's see what's on your mind. Hello there. How are you doing, River? We're just kind of hanging out. Don't want anything. Um, since we got here, it's been work trying to open up a campground, and so I haven't really had a chance to do much. I've been looking for my thumb drive because I wanted to do some more t-shirts with some pictures of places that I've been, but I cannot find my thumb drive. And then I cracked my computer. All kind of stuff been going on. I need a laptop. My computer's way too big for my space, and I cracked it. So I don't know how long this is gonna last. Me coming on here and being able to do it from my computer. So I'm holding on. Hey, yes, it is nice to finally meet you as well. I'm glad you were able to make it to a live. I mean, tonight I'm not doing anything. I was like, every time, thank you so much. If you could even call it that, a show. I'm vlogging my midlife crisis is what I feel like I'm doing. Um, it's been really difficult trying to get out and keep making content. The Bible study is easy to do because I could do that here in the camper and film it and read and stuff like that. But when it comes down to really like traveling and getting out, since we got here, we've been working like pretty much every day. Like, oh, this week I work till Friday, and then I get my new schedule probably Sunday. So I usually off on Saturday because I told them, because of my religious beliefs, I don't work on Sunset Friday to Sunset Saturday, me and Cedric. So usually we have, I can tell you that when I came in, opening them and trying to figure out, the invoice sheet. And I was like, well, that's redundant work if we're all trying to, do you have my sheet? Okay, do you have the sheet for this box? Do you have that? I said, okay, you guys, y'all go on over there and open the boxes. You do the inventory, and I'll put it away. So I started pulling stuff off the shelves, and I stepped back. And I'm gonna be truthful. I started praying. I was like, Lord, help me to have some kind of good organizational skills and be able to really put this together. So I stepped back. I stared at the wall, and I was like, okay, this should be like this, and this should be like that. Next thing I knew, the end of last week, we had the whole store put together, and everything you see hung up or organized or put into place, I did it. And those girls rocked it. They got through there and they opened up those boxes. They did all the inventory and stuff, and I got a chance to do some merchandise designing, and I was like stoked, right? And I'm trying not to be, great way to put it, Margaret, army rules, right? I'm trying not to be bossy, but I've had jobs where I've had to run a team. And so it's just like that, right? You have to come in and somebody's got to put in some direction of, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do this. We're going to work on this section today. We're going to work on that section till we get it all done. And it was easy for me to kind of come in and finish that. And I was like, yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. So far the ladies I work with are all phenomenal. I absolutely love them all. And just trying to find that vibe of different personalities. You always vibe with one person more than another. And I have to keep telling myself, you don't have to be the boss. You're not the supervisor. It's okay if people touch what you just did, even though it's not all up in your crazy little mind. And so, hi, Kathy. And so, yes, I am neurotic about certain things. And so I was like, okay, tonight I'm going to go and just hang out with my peeps because usually, whenever I'm on here, I am always either we're doing Bible study or I'm trying to crank out a video, and we never get a chance to just hang out. Margaret, remember that time I got online and I was just cleaning up, and then we ended up in this little weird heart to heart talk, and it was like 700 views. I was like, oh my goodness. Noodle Doodle just left with his dad to go dump the trash and run to the store. He is a little noodle doodle caboodle. Yes, he is. Cedric is the best. He really is. He is the best. And I don't have a bad thing to say about him. He I'm thankful that we were able to work things out. So that's where we are. And my little noodle today, he was like freaking out because it was raining and thundering and lightning. So when I came home for lunch, he was like super grateful that I was home. You guys know I'm crazy. I just absolutely love tea. So my goal while I'm here is I want to lose 50 pounds. And you guys know when I was in Tennessee, I was starting to lose some weight and then I started gaining it back. So um pray for me. I'm going to be trying to go back on what I was doing before and just kind of cutting out the sweets. I don't drink soda, so that's not a hard thing. I don't drink I used to drink my calories, like I would drink a lot, and so I'm trying to steer clear of that. So my go, hey Wade, you miss Noodle? Everybody, Noodle is like a doggy celebrity. How are you doing, Wade? How's it going? I see your channel is growing. Wade is one of my YouTube buddies, but he does gaming. So, of course, his channel is going to grow like crazy. But yes, and Noodle misses everybody there. Tell everybody back home that he misses them too. Um, so my goal is while I'm here to drop some weight. So I've been planning things that I can do that's going to really get me out there. You guys know how much I miss my camera and wish I could get out. I saw some birds the other day. I have a friend that's on my Facebook page. He and I are bird crazy. We like to take pictures of birds. And so I really miss being able to take my camera. So I'm hoping maybe one day I can get one or gifted one or whatever. Let's see what Wade talking about. I need to have you on. So that would be awesome. I would absolutely love that. So you send me an invite and I would definitely come on your channel and we will chat it up about whatever you want to talk about. That'd be cool. I would love that, Wade. So let me know. Meanwhile, you guys leave me a thumbs up. I really, 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 really appreciate that. So you guys saw that video of when we went down to Portland. That was cool. But I was looking for like some historical districts. They have some, so I'm hoping I could find some. We're gonna be planning on our next long days off, trying to get out of here and get to the actual coast and see what we can do then. Maybe go to Bar Harbor or up to Arcadia National Park. I know that's one of the things on my list. I have my national park book, so I like to try to hit all those. That's the goal. So, what are you guys up to, Miss Margaret? Have you made your vacation plans yet? Where you going to be heading? And River, do you have any vacation plans? Thank you. I really was doing good. And to Cedric, he and these cookies and ice cream. He can eat a cookie and nothing. I eat a cookie and I have a new back. So I just, I tell him, "No, honey, I can't eat like you." So I got me some strawberries and some blueberries and some raspberries, and I like berries. So I got some stuff like that. I got a couple cases of water. I like Greek yogurt, so I have that. Um, and I guess the fact is I don't eat breakfast, and I probably should do that. But I hate oatmeal. I hate oatmeal. I hate the way it smells. I hate the way it tastes. I don't like grits. I don't like oatmeal, and I don't like cream of wheat. So the only thing left is cereal, and I don't like cold stuff in the morning. I like a good hot cup of coffee or a muffin or something like that. So I'm just trying to figure it out. But definitely once we start moving around, because it's still cold here, believe it or not. Like today it rained and people were like, it feel like it's gonna snow. And I'm like, oh goodness, please. It was cold. It has not warmed up yet. Now next week is supposed to be in the 70s, cross my fingers, but right now you still need a light jacket. So there's not too many outdoor activities going on. Going to Missouri for Oh, cool. I've been to Missouri. I've been through Missouri. And I could have swore we went through Missouri in the middle of a hurricane, a tornado. I could tell you that much. I felt like it was chasing us in the car and we didn't know what it was, but it was some kind of formation. It was crazy and scary. I could tell you that much. But I've been, oh my goodness, we were just talking about that the other night, me and Cedric, of how many places we've been. Oh my goodness, we've been to about 35 states. That's a lot of places where we've been there and actually did stuff there or stayed there or passed through and did stuff there. 35 states, that's a lot. That is absolutely a lot of places. Oh, Carolina Beach. I love Carolina Beach. Okay, so let me tell you, why did you leave? Honest, be honest. Why did you leave Seattle? Because we are talking about moving to, I gotta put my phone on the charger. I don't have any Wi-Fi as of right now, and so it kind of sucks rocks. So I'm moving off of my phone Wi-Fi, and my phone's about to die, so I need to plug it up. If I can find the charger, here it is. And so we were moving. We wanted to go to Oregon. I love Seattle, Oregon, up that way because it's absolutely beautiful. And so, being that there's drugs everywhere, I don't look at that like that. So I always want to know why people leave the area, but that's my goal. When we finally stop or we settle down, it'll be in Oregon. That's the place that felt the most like home for me, and I absolutely loved it, and I miss it this summer because there was just so much we missed when we were there that I can't wait to get back. So you said family. Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. I get it. I think I'm running for mine. I love my kids. I do. I love them so much. But now that they're grown, I just don't feel like I have to stay with them like that, even though I still feel like I need to be a helicopter mom with certain things, but I'm learning that I need to allow them to grow up and make their decisions and be okay with it versus hanging around just to fix it. And that's a lot of what I do. Oh my goodness, Margaret, you and I are kindred spirits. You a coffee drinker in the morning? So, yeah, so that's what I'm thinking I'd like to do. So, hopefully, once it starts getting warmer and we open May 10th. So, our seasonals will be coming in this weekend. So, that should be a fun time had by all when everybody's all around and out moving around and introducing themselves. I'm just excited for people to show up. I mean, it's one thing to be here, it's another thing to be here and nobody else is here. So it'd be nice to see people with the campfire and the kids on the bike, and people walking by and they talk to you and you get a chance to hear where they've been and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see people. Erica's favorite city is Fairview. You wish, buddy. You wish it was Fairview. It's so nice that you miss me, Wade. I miss you too. I miss you too, Wade. And I'll be back through there. I'll come back through Tennessee. I promise. It just won't be to live. That's all. I won't get there and get stuck like I did this last time. So uh Seattle is not the dropping place. It's more of the curiosity. Like I'd like to go just because I like coastal cities. So right now, I would not consider us in a coastal city. I tell you guys, this feels more like New Hampshire than anything. Okay. Like I can go a block up the street and I'm in New Hampshire. We're in Maine, but not really. So I'm excited to explore Maine. And we're like an hour away from Boston. We're an hour away from Portland. We're an hour away from stuff, but you just need the time to kind of get up, do some research, pick a few places, and then go. River. Oh, well, there you go. Now that's always a great reason to come home and be close to family and kind of help out with stuff like that. So that makes sense. That makes sense. And I'm sorry to hear about your mom. But yeah, that makes sense. And I know that Mother's Day is a little sensitive around here too because my mother-in-law passed away not too long ago, and so I get it. I get it. Um, yes. So me that I live semi-retired. Um, Oregon is it, and I love everything about it. I think Portland itself gets a bad rap because every time people think of Portland, they think of oh, homeless and drugs and that stuff is there. Now, don't get me wrong, it's there, but so is the beautiful waterfalls, so is the mountains, so is the Columbia Gorge, so is the scenic highway, so is Waterfall Loop, so is Cannon Beach, so is all those other beautiful places in Oregon that you can go and visit all up and down the coast. You can take the coast, the 101, up and down. It is absolutely beautiful. And it goes right on into California. And that coast is absolutely amazing. So yes, I agree. I love, love, love Oregon, and so that's where I plan on being. So in Oregon, what city would I pick? Wade, it would probably have to be. I think I would just be between Portland and Cannon Beach. I would like to be somewhere near the coast, not too far. Maybe Newport down in that area, but I'd like to be near the coast and the national forests and the parks and stuff like that. So, and some place where if I want to shoot up to Washington, I can hit a road that would take me on up into there, so I'm not far. I want to be near an IKEA because I have an addiction, and then I would like to be able to shoot to California if I want to. Now, hey, I like Seaside, Oregon. Yes, I saw them making their saltwater taffy and it was amazing. And they let you try it. In Candy Beach, like downtown, they have this little place where it's like a candy store, but you can stand there and watch them make it and pull the taffy and add the color. They have a place like that in Gatlinburg too. And so they give you like samples because they know once you taste it, you're hooked for life. It's like dope, I swear. But you need good teeth to eat it because it'll take your teeth out. Um, and let me tell you why I love Cannon Beach. I agree with you 110%. The beaches in Oregon are dog friendly, so my noodle doodle gets a chance to be noodle and run and play and enjoy it. But if you've ever gone earlier in the early part of the day, the tide goes out, and so you get a chance to see all the anemones, all the starfish, all these other sea life that you don't ordinarily see unless you go like swimming underwater. Yeah. So when the tide goes out, they have those big rocks. What is the name of those rocks? I cannot think of it. That the birds, the big, 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 big one that the birds sit up on, and the ones that look like toucans, but they're not. They sit up there, and then there's these rocks, and you walk out to them and they're just covered with starfish and they're just covered with these little round things that look like suckers. I did when I did my Candy Beach video towards the middle, there was a lady that was on the beach that was kind of telling me about the different sea life about this, and you can walk out there and walk around it. Now, when 2 o'clock rolls in, puffers, that's what it was. You're right, Cedric, puffers. They look like walking toucans. Yes, the barnacles. They might no. I don't know if it was barnacles or not. Like I said, it's in that. I might make a short of her telling me about that out of the video. That's what I'm gonna do. But 2 o'clock came around, and where you could walk around and like touch the rock and look at all the different stuff, the tide had come in, and all that stuff was almost basically underwater. And I was just in awe because certain places you can walk when the tide's out, and certain places, like at a certain time, you need to be heading back in because it's gonna go underwater. And as we move further down in Tillamook, and they have that bridge that's cut into the rock where you could go on either side of it, and then they have these rocks that have these special little jewel looking jewels in them, and people are all over the beach, looking down at the ground trying to find these certain rocks. And then at a certain time, you have to come back through that walkway because when the tide comes in, you can't walk through there. So it is super, 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 super cool. I was like loving it. I love the rainforest type atmosphere in Ecola State Park. Just driving through there, we saw these gigantic caribous, and it was awesome. And I'm just astonished at how cold the Pacific is so cold. So stinking cold. Hey Judith, that's okay. You made it. You both hands on the wheel, sister. You let us know you're here, so it's all good. But take your thumb, everybody that's here, please hit the like button and give us a thumbs up. I really, really, really appreciate that because I'm just shooting the breeze, hanging out with you guys, talking to you all in the chat because it's fun and I miss y'all and I haven't had a chance to just kind of hang out and be with y'all. And I am excited to see what the summer brings. As far as I'm concerned, the summer has not started yet. And so I can't wait till I'm like, you guys, check this out. I told Cedric, I have never been on an Amtrak train. And so I'm hoping that I will be able to get on an Amtrak train. Even if it's just going from here to Boston, that little ride would be so cool. Have any of you guys ever been on Amtrak? Aw, thank you. Oh, that's so sweet. I try to be the same all the time. Um, I can I I just try to be myself because life is already hard enough. So there's no need to make it hard for anybody else. That's what I always say. But yes, it is fun. I would love to take the Amtrak train into there. I have been craving a whale watching tour. We lucked up in Newport Beach in Oregon and saw the orcas swimming by from one of the ports in Newport, and I was stoked. It was like almost sunset, and all of a sudden you seen them coming by, and it was the coolest thing because I've always wanted to go whale watching, take a cruise out and go whale watching. And when we tried to do it in San Diego, all we saw was dolphins, and they knew it was not whale watching season; that was already past. But they were still pushing it as though it wasn't because if you're a tourist and you're taking it, how do you know what's whale watching season and not? So we just saw a bunch of dolphins and some seals. So I'm hoping that while we're here, they have some whale watching tours and we'll be able to take one and see some actual whales. The goal is to get over into Canada at some point. As y'all know, we done got to Canada close so many times. We've been there when we were in Detroit for our honeymoon. We went to Niagara Falls and we are right there by Canada. And so here we are again. And I don't know why, but it has always been a dream of mine to go to Nova Scotia. I've had this thing about fishing towns, like little small villages that are like fishing villages. I've always like love that eclectic type lifestyle, right? And so I am dying to get over to Nova Scotia, which is in Canada, and check it out. So I am hoping and praying that we'll get our passports in time to be able to get over there. And you could take the ferry over there. Now, one of the cool things that I've been researching since we've been here is that around um all these different areas, like in Boston, over here in Massachusetts, not Massachusetts, um, Maine, there are these little islands, and the ferry goes to these different islands, and you can drive there. And they have all these different lighthouses. So I'm really hoping that we could get on a couple ferries when it's a lot warmer and go out and just kind of walk around, hike around, and bring you guys stuff. Now, I can't be responsible if there's nothing there when we get there. I'm just going to bring you the fact that if you're here, you can do it and just kind of enjoy it. I'm with you, Cedric. I miss the Tetons. If you've ever been to the Grand Tetons, you will absolutely love it because they are absolutely beautiful, breathtaking around every single corner, and they have some great state parks where it's like 18 bucks to stay, and you get, some of them are like electric and water, some of them are boondocking where you could stay for free, and they have all of these little like creeks and water that runs through it. And if you get up early, like me, I like to get up early. Cedric sleeps in a little bit longer than I do. I'm one of those annoying people about as soon as the sun, I might as well have been a chicken, okay? As soon as the sun comes up, I'm clucking. I'm up. I'm fixing me some coffee. I take the dog out. I like to read and have my worship in the morning when it's quiet. And so I'm up at dawn, right? And if you're up early enough and you're near a lake, not a lake, like a stream of water in one of the parks, moose show up then. You have lots of deers and stuff like that show up then. It is the coolest experience. You know, they got those bison everywhere, so that is pretty super cool. And I'm not quite sure what animals we got roaming around here. I know I don't want to run into any more bears because we had enough of that in California. I don't want any run into any cougars or anything like that. So I can run into animals that they mind their business and I'm minding mine, not the kind that's hunting. They're in the bushes looking at you, looking at them, looking at you. So I don't like those kind unless they're in the zoo. And so I'm excited. I'm really am excited. And we're trying to do our best to kind of just budget and find a lot of things that we could do that won't cost and just get out and have some fun. Another little thing around here that I explored and found yesterday, because what I did was I was looking for little villages because this place is kind of broke up in a few townships, and I was trying to find places that we could like go and just film. Cedric and I like to take picnics, right? So we pack lunch and then we go to find these little places next to water or waterfalls or stuff like that, and then we like to have lunch. And so yesterday I was out because he had to work, but I didn't. And I saw this little village. Well, I call it a village. It was a little town. And it was just so quaint. So I'm hoping that we could find a few of those that we could stop and kind of learn a little bit of the history because it's such a historical area. This part of the world, a lot of the founding fathers lived and started, laws and bills and stuff like that. And one of the great parts about New Hampshire, there's no state tax, so it's like Oregon. Once you buy it, you buy it. That's it is what it is. That's how much it costs. Hey, Robert, how are you? How are the dogs? How is Oregon? How are you doing there? Is it thawed out there? Is it nice? Because Bob is one of my friends I met when I was in Oregon, so I was hoping to get back to him so our dogs can play, but hopefully we will be able to touch bases a little bit later on this year, Robert. So I'm really excited about that. And his dogs love to go on the Cannon Beach 2 river. They like to go and run up and down the beach because it's so much fun. They get a chance, and you would think that with all these different dogs running, that one of them might attack another. And the dogs are just so happy to be out, and of course they come up to each other and kind of sniff and go on, but You know, they seem to, for the most part, pretty friendly. So there's nobody on the beach with Rottweilers and pit bulls running around, but most of the dogs are like poodles and like noodle and just kind of like smaller, medium sized dogs. So they all love to have a good time. You're great. Headed to Cascade Mountain tomorrow, our summer spot. Oh, okay, cool beans. Is the weather good there? I wonder if you guys were having good weather. As more people come in, please, please consider leaving us a thumbs up. We need it. And yes, 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 yes. And so I can't say enough about our Oregon experience. It rained. It rained here today too. But April showers bring May flowers, and so it'll be nice. And okay, so I know somebody asked me about my wish list. Like if I had a wish list of anything, I will post that tomorrow. But I'm gonna tell you one thing I would just like to have, just because we're in conversation. I want a canoe, not a canoe. What do you call those little things? Little boats, the little plastic boats you see from Walmart and places like that. And it's like a one man boat, and you get the little oar. I want to say canoe, but in my mind, a canoe is so much bigger than that. A paddle boat, yeah, kayak. That's what it is. I would love to have a kayak and a GoPro because there are lots of lakes around here, and kayaking, yes, and now a paddle boat, not with your legs. I'd rather have the oars because then I can get my noodle life jacket and he can go too. So with the kayaks, there's a lot of bodies of water around here, and that seemed to be a thing. Like so far, um, out of the couples that came, like three of them, they all have little kayaks and they have electric bikes. Now, electric bike has always been a dream of Cedric, and I always thought electric bikes were cheating until we got to Oregon and I wanted to ride a bike, and it was like all hilly and mountainous. Then I said, okay, yeah, I'd love an electric bike, but I would prefer a kayak and a GoPro so I could get in the water and mount it to the front of the boat. Um, I bet. I bet. You got it from here? See, now even Bob has a kayak. I want one. I want one. So, if anybody know of somebody with a kayak, let me know. I would love to have one and be able to get in it and kind of just strap my GoPro once I get one to the front of it, and we do some water tours. When you guys like that? When you like a good water tour? How about you, River? Are you a water person? I'm a water person. I would love to also snorkel. I don't want to go deep sea diving or, anything like that, but I would love to go snorkeling. I just think that would be so cool. Yes. You have a paddleboard? Oh, you say they have paddle boards that you can inflate. Now, in the office, we have these kayaks that are inflatable. And said you say he won't get in it. He wants something hard. Make sure it don't deflate. So he's not a swimmer. He'll get in the water, but he doesn't swim. I'm a swimmer. So, and I wouldn't want to put a non-swimmer in a inflatable. But I would do it. I would do it just because I'm not afraid to do it. But that's the goal. I would like to have a kayak. And I'd like to learn just how to skateboard. I've always wanted to learn how to skateboard. I know it's so weird. I'm almost 50. And my son told me, "You're too old to be trying to break stuff now." He's such a jerk. But I'd love to learn how to either skateboard, or I'd love to learn how to paddleboard, the kind where you can stand up on and kind of do it. I guess you have to have like good balance. So I got a lot of things that I would like to do that's outdoorsy that I think would be different and fun to bring to you guys as far as activities instead of just doing walkarounds, which is a lot of what happens. If we could get in the water, get into a nice kayak and get into the water, I think that would just be a hilarious adventure all by itself, especially the first time as newbies. So I will figure it out. But yeah, I've always wanted a longboard so I can learn how to skateboard. I know it's such a weird, but my boys when they were younger, they I had one kid that could have skateboarded professionally. He was just extremely good at it. And then he got bored with it and he stopped. But all of them skateboarded. Every last one of them had skateboards and they all skateboarded. And I've always wanted to learn. I was always afraid that I wouldn't be able to like pick up on the kick and ride because I wasn't a child that had a scooter. So I'd like to learn, not for tricks and all that kind of stuff, just for transportation. Like if I wanted to ride around the neighborhood and get on my kickboard or get on my longboard and just do it, I would like it for that purpose. So I'm a pretty ambitious girl. I like outdoorsy stuff, and so I'm hoping that I can really find myself this summer. Um, I know, right? I feel like I'm starting to live again. Like before, you had to be cautious and you had to tell other people, "Don't do that. That's dangerous." And now I'm like, "Let's try it. Let's see where it takes us, how it goes." And I'm more of the daredevil. I'm more of the one that's willing to try stuff. And Cedric's way more cautious than I am, and so he's the one that's always like, "I don't know about that." And I'm all, so yeah, really. Oh my goodness, were you a military brat? You grew up in Hawaii. Yeah, he's safety first. You can see in our videos that I never know where he is. He always coming up from somewhere talking about he was looking for me. And my mother used to get on me too. Where's Cedric? Why are you out without him? I'm like, Mom, he's around. Yes. Now, canoeing for me, I think of Pocahontas and a gigantic big boat, like a small big boat canoeing. The kayak, I'm thinking one person, dog in the middle, and the little oars. And so I just think it would be fun. But it is. We've been canoeing. We did a video of us canoeing, and it was an adventure. Because at first we were like going in a circle, but we figured it out. He told me to stop rowing, and then we start going straight. But it was fun, and I think that's why I would love to do it again. And it's stuff that we could the kayaks are places we take with us. Get the little mounts and put them on the roof and of the truck, and we can kind of tour around and take them with us. So I think that would be, I think that would be fun. So we'll see what happens. We will see what happens, but I'm excited about that. And I'm excited about the summer period. I can't wait till people get here. I can't wait till things heat up and we get a little bit busy. That way the day goes by quickly. Um, yep. Well, yeah, I agree. You really, the goal is not to tip over. And so when we went river rafting, it was my 40th birthday, and I was like, I'm gonna hurl myself down a raging river for my 40th. And we went river rafting. And that was like my stipulation to our guide. I was like, no tipping. Like we have to stay in the boat. And he was like, "Oh, no problem." And we had a blast. If you've ever been river rafting, it is such a rush. I mean, like a serious rush. And it was so much fun. And I really, really, really enjoyed myself. So yes, Bob, that is top priority to not tip over. And I Cedric, you were not afraid. Cut it out. Yes, that was my 40th birthday present, and I didn't even figure that out. I didn't plan that till like the day before. Cedric was like, "What you want to do for your birthday?" And I was like, "I think I want to go river rafting." And he was like, "Uh, really? No, that's no, that I'm not doing that." And I was like, "That's fine. You don't have to." So I got up the next day. I paid my reservations, and then he was like, my son was like, "Well, I'll go with you." And then next thing I know, Sarah was like, "Okay, well, I'll go." And we all went, and we had so much fun. And it was like a category 2 type thing. I don't know what they call it, but it was a two in the rate like the raging river. So it's not like the kind in the Grand Canyon. We were in Tennessee and it was on the what river is that? See, now I'm getting ready to start lying to you. I can't even remember the river. So, do you remember the river we went river rafting on when we were in Tennessee?
Cherokee
Yeah,
River.
no, that was the name of the company, but the actual river,
No, I
I don't remember either.
don't. It was the one before the very top. It
Yes,
was like
we were at the middle level, and Noodle, there he is. Say hi, Noodle. Wade asked about your noodle doodle. Say hi, Noodle. He's such a fluffy little sweet baby boy. He would have to go pee pee. Hey, mommy, baby, say hi, Noodle. He said, my mom is so dramatic. Hey, little sweet boy. He's got to get a haircut because we've been having, well, when we got here, we had an issue with the tick. So we got to get him cut down so we can take care of him real good. So hopefully we'll be able to get him an appointment to get him groomed and get him cut so we can see and got some medicine and stuff for him. Yeah, that's my noodle doodle. Whitewater rafting. Yes, I cannot think of that river. I know it was the Cherokee River Rafting Company is what we used, and that's in Chattanooga, but I cannot think of the river we were on. But it was fun, and I would recommend everybody doing it at least once. At least once. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed every second of it. I did a video of it. It's like one of the very first videos I ever put on YouTube, to be honest. Um, and if you go into my videos, and you got to go way back in the archives, it was the very first one, and it was of our river rafting trip, and it was a lot of fun. And so, yes, crafted across the Hood River got pretty wet. Now, Hood River has its places. Now I'm thinking of the gorge, the Columbia Gorge. I've seen people like kayak and go through that, but it has its parts where it gets pretty rapid, pretty fast. And I just wouldn't want to be in fast water in a kayak. I like to be in calm waters. And I like to be in waters where there's nothing in it. So like when you go to Florida, I don't want to be in a kayak in Florida because you don't know if there's an alligator in the water with you. So, yes. So I have stipulations on certain places I will get in the water in a kayak. As long as there is nothing vicious that will turn the boat over that lives in the water, I think I'll be good. But I category 2, grade 2, whatever, river. I'm not quite sure. I'd have to go back and look at it. But that's where it was. It was round up in there. Yeah, okay, so apparently we got it off of him before it had a chance to like really inject anything in him. We need to get his Lyme disease shot, and at the time we didn't have all the money to get it. So we just got his rabies shots because he has to have that in order to get um his grooming done. So as of right now, he's got like a little scab on his head that's drying out, and he seemed to be doing well. Like he didn't have like any side effects. He's a picky eater anyway. He eats when he feels like it is the problem. So it's not like his appetite went down. He wasn't running a fever or acting weird or anything like that. So we're pretty blessed that he didn't have any real side effects about it. But we definitely want to get him cut down because that particular tick barreled itself down into his fur. So unless you're going against his hair, and every time we bring him in, we got to pretty much give him a full pat down, police pat down. I have some stuff that I use that is a little bit more organic. That is like an essential oil type base. That's for ticks and fleas, and so we'll be able to lather him up with that once he gets cut, and then get his Lyme disease shot, and hopefully we can just keep an eye on him and keep that curved as far as that's concerned. Um, Let me show you what we have, what we got. So, as you can see, I got this gigantic bottle Natural Care Flea and Tick Spray, and it's a peppermint oil and Eugenol something or another, and it's for fleas, flea eggs, ticks, and mosquitoes. And it works great, right? He's not too crazy about the smell of it, but it works great. And so the hope is once he gets cut, look how he's looking at this can because he's not a fan. He doesn't like the way it smells. He lets me put it on him because he, in his little doggy brain, he feels like my mama's doing this because she's loved me. She's doing it for some good reason. He doesn't think, he doesn't run and try to get away from me or anything like that. So when we get him cut, we'll be able to kind of put this directly on him, and hopefully it'll be a good propellant. Hey, girlfriend. Hey, Deborah. How you doing? Cedarwood oil. I'll have to try that. I'll try that because I definitely want to do the best we can to be good puppy parents to our sweet little baby boy. He is the best dog in the world. I mean, in the absolute world. And I'm not just biased because I'm his mother. I am telling you the truth. This dog will steal your heart. Like, literally. He is just the kindest, sweetest, obedient, loving, patient dog you've ever met. And I just would not, yeah, I would just never trade him for anything. So I'm glad, Deborah, I've been praying for you. I sent you an email, but I've definitely been praying for you. So I hope all is well and that you're doing well this evening. And so, yes, this is what we got, River. So I'm gonna look into that cedar oil. And do I just put that directly on his coat? Is that something that goes directly on his coat? Definitely just trying to do the best we can to keep him as healthy as possible because that was like out of left field when that happened. I wasn't even expecting that. When Cedric took him out and he brought him back in, he was like, "Baby, something's on him." And like digging, and that was like the second time. The one you guys saw for our 3,000 celebration, that was the second tick. So I was over it by then, and I wanted to make sure we got it because it looks like they barreled down under the skin, and I just couldn't have that. So we got it. He's doing good. He was such a good boy. He sat there and let mama get the stuff out of him. So he's doing well. Well, I'm glad you can feel the love. We definitely love you. It's a safe space. Everybody needs a safe space. And I had decided that I was devoting 2 days a week to pray for other people. So that's why on Sundays and Wednesdays, I usually post on my community wall that if you have any prayer requests, and you don't even have to tell me what it is. Just put a white flag in the comment section and I'll know, and the Lord knows. He's the only one that, well, I just wanted to kind of hang out with you guys and just see how things were going with y'all and kind of catch up and just, you know, because every time I come on, I always try to come on with a purpose, but we don't get a chance to hang out as much. So I wanted to make sure this evening that I hung out with you guys and kind of just let you know that I have not neglected the travel part of this channel. It's just that when we got here, we hit the ground running, working because of that snowstorm that hit the campground. Oh, guys, y'all should have seen this place before. There were trees, like literally trees that fell out of the ground onto the driveway. You couldn't even drive through here on certain streets. It rained so much that the river had came up on the bank and some of the roads were flooded. The bathrooms were dirty. The store needed. It was just a lot to do. So we came here, and even though it wasn't open yet, we hit the ground running. And so they needed a lot of help, and we were here to help, to kind of help. And so hopefully when things open up and the rest of the staff gets here, we'll get some kind of set schedule and we can start planning and getting out and bringing you guys some content. So I just appreciate y'all being so patient through our hiatus of the winter months in Tennessee and not really getting much videos out. And then now we're here and we're working. So we're trying to balance work life with travel life with spiritual life. And as you know, that could be difficult, but it can be done and we're going to be working on it. So we just ask that you bear with us because we're trying to get it done. We're trying to get, some stuff planned that is worth you guys tuning in and enjoying the journey with us. Right now, Bob, we are in, I would consider New Hampshire, like close to Rochester, New Hampshire, not too far from there. And so sure we're in more of New Hampshire than Maine. So yeah, we'll be here to October, and then we'll be leaving here, and the part two of this adventure will begin. Um, what's the weather? What's the weather there today? Sucky, very very sucky, cold and rainy, and so not a good start to the summer, especially since they've done so much to clean this place up. And rain and snow was the reason why it was so much devastation. They had whole trees come down on people's camper and like crush them. And so this week was the first week that even like insurance adjusters and people who, with tow trucks can come in and pull out the damaged vehicles. I mean, it was that bad. Now it looks like night and day campground. They had the landscaping people come in and do what they were going to do. They had to hire a tree company that had to come in and like literally cut down trees, cut stuff from out of the ground, remove stumps and everything, and we are almost ready for people to roll in, and everybody's excited because they love this place and they can't wait to just begin the summer activities. And so it was a real pleasure to be a part of coming in and kind of helping the campground get on its feet, but at the same time learning some new skills as well. Me and Cedric was both talking about that today, of how we came in, and because we work for a really good company thus far, they have really allowed us to learn certain things and the freedom of doing certain things to kind of make help allow us to help make our campground better. So that has been really fun, and just it's just been busy. And if it's been busy for our KOA we've stayed at, that we've just stayed where it takes up two sides of the road, like Camp A, Camp B, and then cross street, and both sides are equally as big. So it's been exciting. It's been exciting to be a part of that. Um, yeah, yeah. I am trying to scale back on my crafts because I have a lot of stuff already and I haven't been able to like do it. I had bought a lot of stuff that I wanted to sell, like keychains and cups and stuff like that, but I don't have the space. So for a while we were looking for a slightly bigger camper so I could have at least like a little office space where I can have a place to film, somewhere to do stuff, and kind of get going, and it just never materialized. And so we haven't stopped looking for a camper, but we have got to upgrade our truck first. And that's just all it is to it. Because the size of the truck depends on what we'll be able to get next. And I don't want to get another smaller one to fit the truck we have when we just need a bigger truck. So the goal is to try to upgrade the truck so we can get exactly what we want and we don't have to upgrade or change it anymore. And so once I'm able to do that, then I can do. Now I like to paint. I'm not a painter, but I find something relaxing about painting. And so I have like a whole bunch of paint brushes, and I was going to get some more stuff, but I don't want to keep adding to my already small space and then don't have anywhere to put it. So you're right. Today is a great hot tea with some British comedy and some painting. But we're getting there. Thank you. Well, they will take your money. It's a lot of stuff in there to make you want to buy, from purses to floaties to boats to candy to food, anything you need in there. They have it in that store. And it is designed so you don't have to leave to go get anything. They did an excellent job, and they thought way ahead of time. And with the size of this campground, you need a store that big. So yeah, it is. Well, there you go. Now, we've stayed in a few KOAs ourselves, especially in this travel. We've stayed in two while we on our way up here. We stayed in one in Connecticut and one in West Virginia. And they were both, no, in Virginia. And they were both pretty decent KOAs. They were, they didn't, I don't have any complaints. They were nice places. Pricey, but they were nice. They were very nice. And they didn't have nearly as many amenities as here. I mean, like theirs was nice as far as like landscaping, and your spot, but that was just about it. They didn't have a whole lot of like extra stuff. They had stuff there, like any standard KOA has something to offer you while you're there, but they didn't have no water slide and mini golf and rope course and a lake and two pools and a jacuzzi and tubing for the river and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's a night and day difference. Um, Yes, it is nice if you forget something, but you're gonna pay for it. You won't forget it again. I can tell you that much. So checklist. That's the thing of the day. Make yourself a checklist. That even though it's convenient, you're paying for that convenience. Just keep that in mind. The Virginia one, the one we stayed in was next to a Natural Bridge Park, Natural Bridge State Park. It was like one exit up from there, and I really wanted to go to that state park, but the campground we stayed at was like almost $60 a night, and I was like, we cannot stay here, 3 nights, because usually if you want to explore, you get there, that's one night. You explore the next day, that's 2 nights, and then you leave the third day. So you spend $120 to spend a night to go to, a state park, which is free to get in, and I just couldn't weigh the cost and was like, that's a good deal. So we just kept going. Maybe if we come back through that way, maybe we'll have to stop, and it'll be the end of the season, so it might be a lot cheaper. Because even when we were out headed to Oregon last year, we stopped in Montana, and that KOA for the night was like $30. I think it was like she said $28 or something like that, because it was off season and it was really nobody there but the work campers that were arriving. And she was like, okay, well, just $20 because you guys are $28 because you guys are staying the night. Now, uh, if you're gonna go somewhere, I would recommend booking up New Mexico, because their state parks are $14 a night, and that's with hookups. That's water and electric. And their primitive sites are $10, and that is 110% worth it. So those are places I would like to be. That if I'm going to stay, I could stay for 2 weeks. You can afford to, right? And you still have water and electric, and then we need to invest in one of those little crappers, honey pot things. Can't think of it. That when you so you don't have to put the whole hitch up the whole house to go dump if you don't have a full hookup. So we got to get one of those from Camping World or wherever they sell them. And I'm surprised Walmart don't have them, to be honest. But we got to get us one of those honey pots so we can be able to use that for when we're out and we're in places like that. But yeah, yes, ma'am. Rosedale, Pennsylvania. KOA is nice, family run. I Okay, so where's Hornsdale, Bob? Because when we were in Pennsylvania, we went to Hershey, and that place will make you fat quick. It is chocolate everywhere, and it's free to get into the places where the chocolate is. So you got to be careful. Um, Yeah, it is a lot of money. And so later we found out, River, that the reason why it was so high was because they were trying to catch that wave of people who were wanting to catch the eclipse. And so they were price gouging. They figure you traveling that way, and in the wintertime, this place is not like the West Coast, right? Where there's lots of campgrounds open, there's boondocking places. There's limited pickings of campgrounds that stay open, and even smaller of those that stay open year round, right? And so they know that if you are in that coming that way in a camper, you don't have any other choice, and you just have to pay what they say. And so it was pretty expensive just because of that reason alone. It's Northeast Pennsylvania. Okay. All right. Well, we were Northeast. Maybe not far enough over. But we came through Hershey up into New Jersey. So yeah. So yeah, you just have to be careful. And planning your route is everything. And I plan the route, but I don't plan the stops. See, that's where I get my hangups. Like I know which direction I'm going. I know how long it's going to get there. I can gauge the gas and how much it's going to cost. It's the where are we going to stop for the night? And the reason why I do that is because I know my husband, right? So he will start out and then we'll stop. Or I'll see something and I'm like, honey, let's stop or let's take a picture or let's turn around and go see that. And a 4 hour trip can be 6 hours. So I never know what we're going to see or how many times we're going to stop. And I don't want to pick something that's 4 hours away, but because we stop so much, it's turned into 6 hours. So I usually wait till he asks me the first time. So where we stopping for tonight? Because I know that that means he's getting weary. And so by the third time he asks me, have I found something? I need to be able to say, yes, I found something. But now, since we've kind of zigzagged all over the place, we have a few Loves now has a campground right off the side of the road. And you can go into the Loves app and go into RV, and they'll show you at which Loves has RV parking, and that's water and electric too. I don't think they have full hookup. I think it's just water and electric. So and those are $30 a night. So if you just want to stop for the night, or you can nestle in between the 18 wheelers if you're stopping for the night. Heck, we've stopped at rest areas for the night. And we weren't the only people there either. It was like a line of RVs coming in and turning in for the night. So now that we have a few places that we know of that we really like and we know the price of them and we know that they're reasonable when we go that way, we kind of plan. And also casinos have RV parking too. And a lot of the times, like when the one we went to in Oklahoma, it was free for 2 nights. You could stay there two nights for free. And it had full hookup. And so the goal for them is that you're gonna come in and spend more, than you leave with. So they want you to come in and gamble and spend money in there, but the joke's on them. I don't gamble, so we got 2 free nights out of there in that area. It was where Arkansas meets Oklahoma, right there at the casino, and you can stay for free. So let's see. I've done in northern Washington State near Canada. That sounds amazing, and I know that Canada has some really cool places. It's a okay. So I don't know if you guys ever heard of this photographer, and he has a uh, Peter Peter McKinnon. I don't know if you know him. He is a YouTuber that does cameras. Well, he did like a little short YouTube movie of his journey to like the holy grail of spaces in Canada, where he took his camera and he got like the ultimate still shot of this aqua blue glacier water that was still coming over the mountains with snow. It was just an amazing photo. And that was it because he's Canadian. And so I just think that that would be awesome to see. And I would like to take a summer and just go across Canada and just stop at the different state parks there. But Washington State and Oregon have similar environments, and they're both absolutely beautiful as far as natural rainforest type atmospheres in their parks and water parks and all that other stuff. It's beautiful. I just love it. Oh well, thank you, Bob. I'm happy to be on here and spend some time with you guys. Um, and be able to see you because I haven't seen you guys in a while, and so it's just really nice. It's like hanging out with my friends, and we're catching up because we haven't had a chance to talk. And so New Mexico, I like New Mexico too. I really liked White Sands. That was cool. That's the only place where it looks hot and the sand is cool. Like you can walk on it barefooted and it won't burn your feet. It's beautiful. I wouldn't want to get lost hiking out there, but and it's a great photography spot. Great. If you got a good camera, you can get some awesome shots out there. You would absolutely love it. To the baby hot springs. Oh, Bagby hot springs. Where is that, Bob? Because a few years ago, I hiked in the mountains. Night stay hot springs till 6 a.m. Now I've never been in a hot spring. I wanted to do the nasty smelling sulfur one in Yellowstone, but we were on the wrong side of the park. Like we were on the southwest quadrant, and that was like in the northwest quadrant. So Yellowstone is so huge. There's no way you're going to see all of it in one day. So by the time we just got in, we the way we came up through Jackson Hole, and you come in through the Tetons. So you got to come through there, and then you got to get to Yellowstone entrance, and then we took the left, which brought us out into Montana. And I know that they had this hot spring that you can get into, but it stinks. It smells like sulfur. But I wanted to go through that. So I've never been in a natural hot springs, and so I would love to check that out. It's up in Cascades. Oh, I can't wait. You'll have to take us when we get there. You'll have to take us and show us when we get there. That would be super, super cool. I would love, love, love that. Love, love, love. That just sounds like fun. Bob, you seem like a fun guy anyway, so I get it. Any hot body of water that's salty is going to be healing because it soaks the joints and the bones and kind of draws out inflammation. And let me tell you just a little secret here: milk, cheese, and meat all carry cholesterol, right? Which adds extra fat to you, and it does something to your joints. That's where you get gout and all that stuff from. So when I backed up off of dairy, my joints didn't hurt as much. Like when I started like I was raised vegetarian. So whenever I eat meat, I can eat it once and be okay. But if I'm eating it consistently, my bones ache. My knees swell, I ache. And so I have to stay away from that kind of stuff because it gives cheese and all that stuff. It helps with inflammation. So whenever you can get into a body of salt waters, it does do something for you. It's invigorating. Oh, the river. I I I had friends that go there. Oh yeah, okay. So you're talking to river. I was thinking going to what river? But you're talking to river. All right. Well, you guys, I am. Yeah. Well, I like to try to make vegetarian dishes, and I usually try to eat, as healthy as possible because I know I'm a girl of size, and I don't want to have diabetes and high blood pressure and all that kind of stuff. Last thing you want to do is be a fat person. And I like gummy bears and gummy worms, and my mother got us hooked on the crack that is cookies and ice cream. And so stuff like that is like nostalgic to me. It's like comfort food. It brings me back to childhood and times with my mom. And so Cedric makes it, and then we sit down and we eat it together. And then after, I feel so guilty because it's like 10 o'clock at night and we're laughing and talking and eating ice cream and cookies. Now, if my mom was here, she would be sitting right there sucking it down with us. So it's that nostalgic feeling of childhood that I buy into. Now, I gave up soda a long time ago, so I don't drink soda. Um, I think a lot of my problem is I eat too late and I don't eat often enough. Like I don't have breakfast. I don't eat lunch. A little bit of breakfast, whether it's some fruit and berries and my coffee. And I'm trying to eat lunch. So even if it's just a yogurt, a banana, and my peanut butter and jelly, and I'm trying to eat dinner really early so that my food have a chance to digest, and I'm not sitting down to eat at 7:30, 8 o'clock. So I got a plan, you guys, and my goal is come May 1st, which is tomorrow, I want to lose at least 50 pounds by the time we leave here in October, and I think that's plenty enough time to try to lose at least 2 or 3 pounds, and every couple weeks, and just work on it and just try to stay active as possible. And if I don't meet the goal, I'm not gonna beat myself up about it. I'm gonna just keep going till I get there. So that's the goal. And being a vegetarian is always a healthier option because you could do that. Yes. Oh, River. Oh my goodness. I did a short, but I'm going to do an update on my garden. I was so excited. It's so growing. We're starting to get little. I had a leaf plant anyway that I bought from the swap meet, and they started it, so it has leaves on it, but it was like a little small plant. That one is starting to grow too, and I'm starting to get some spinach, and I put some char in there. So I got red leaf lettuce, green leaf lettuce, spinach, and chard, and then a row of basil and cilantro, and they are starting to like come up and really grow. So I'm really super excited about that. And it's supposed to be 45 days. So I'm thinking by the end of next month, we should be able to start eating out of the garden. So I'm excited about that. And I'm going to do a video of an updated video, and I'm going to get some plants. We want to kind of decorate our deck. We have it tomorrow. Put some plants out there and make it look nice. And I have to keep in mind that when we get all this stuff, we have to pack it up and take it away from here. So I'm trying to be mindful and not add a whole lot of extra things and wait in places that we don't have any place to put anything. So I'm working on that. But I'm really excited that my garden is growing, and I will let you guys. We'll go on that journey together, and I'll do a video showing you the update. Let's see. I'm trying to keep up with everybody's comments. Would stay away preservatives when possible. That is absolutely true. It is very true. And processed foods. So I try to cook more than we eat out, especially since we have Noodle. We don't want to leave him by himself all the time or at all because we take him everywhere we go. So we usually cook. And Chef Boyardee over here, Cedric is a great cook, So when we had a grill, we're gonna try to get another one. But when we had a grill, he would throw stuff on the grill. I like Mexican street corn, which is probably a fatty meal that I absolutely love because of the mayonnaise and all the cheese and the chili paper. But it's absolutely delicious. And if you ever been to California, you overpaid because it's so easy to make, but it is delicious. So he usually make the Mexican street corn, and he might grill some chicken, and I might make a pasta salad, so stuff like that. So we try to eat more at home, and I whenever I do grocery shop, I prefer certain things organic, like the lettuce. That's why I wanted to go ahead and grow my own. So when you buy certain things like bananas and fruits, I like to get them organic, or I just go to Aldi's. If you're in Oregon, you know you have no idea what Aldi's is because you guys don't have one out there. So I'll go to Aldi's because their produce is pretty cheap and they look pretty good. So we're working on it. I am. I'm trying. I'm gonna try, but I'm not trying with the pressure of like being down on myself if I slip up. I'm just gonna do the best I can and try to eat right and exercise as much as I can and enjoy life to the fullest of whatever I got left on this planet. Well, do that. Start your garden and send me some pictures. Like post pictures so we can see it. I would love to see that. And then you could tell me what you're doing to kind of help make your garden grow, and I can try it. And I like to make some dishes out of my garden too. Like everybody knows I like bok choy and I like char and stuff like that. So I'm always looking for new dishes that I can make because sometimes people like to um, see whatever it is I'm cooking. So I would love to know your dishes. That would be cool. The Garden Chronicles. See, you got the name for it already. Deborah, you could be my account partner for tomorrow. We're gonna hold each other accountable for what we stick in our face. Oh, yes. And the thing that I got it from this place that I had never heard of until we landed in Connecticut. It was called Ocean Job Lot. Now, when you get up here, I think it's called Job Lot, but they have that tub, and it's like $40, and so it was well worth it. Now, on the flip side of that, my leg broke, so that's what you get when you buy plastic. But it still basically does what I want, and Cedric managed to get the leg up there for me, so it's up there. But yes, if you can do it that way, it's going to be the best way, and it's going to save you a little bit of money, and it encourages you to want to eat healthy because when you start losing weight and you start eating a little bit healthier, it's so brag to people. Yes, I eat this and I eat that, and I don't eat that anymore, And it's just something. It's just so weird, you know. You become um, proud of yourself and what you're doing and what you're eating and how you're eating, and then people get, they want to know more about it. So we're gonna do this, and we're just gonna be excited on whatever journey we find ourselves on, right? And so I've been trying to change my outlook on how I feel towards certain situations, and how I feel towards certain people or certain attitudes, and just realize that this Bible study that we've been having has really had an impact on how I begin to see other people and how I interact with them. Where before you get like irritated really quickly, it's like I give myself a minute to have a reality check with myself and second thoughts. And so a friend of mine told me one time, she was like, pray for your enemies. Like if you're having trouble with somebody on the spot while you're looking at them or while they're talking, start praying for them about whatever it is you know about them, whether they're having a hard time or whether they're having health issues or relationship issues or their children or they're struggling at work. She was like, pray for whatever you know about them right then and there. And she was like, it's hard to hate a person you're praying for, but it'll also show you where your heart is too. Because if you're irritated with them and you don't like them, and then you start praying for your enemies, you realize the animosity that you're harboring for them, because here you are praying again to kind of counteract the bad thoughts you're having. So it's just a good thing. It's a good thing to kind of just think about it. And I realized that mean it's towards you. It could be a character flaw. It could be something else going on, and you just happen to be the person at the time that they're taking it out on, or they're scared about something, and that's how they deal with it, by lashing out or being short. And if you start praying for them, like in the moments, like, Lord, obviously something else is going on. It can't be this conversation that's upsetting them. Be with them, help them. And then you realize, okay, I can't be mean and hateful to this person if I'm praying for them in the moment and I'm asking the Lord to bless them in some kind of way. And then it starts to change how you interact with people. So I have been learning to do that, Johnny on the spot, right? Like as soon as I start feeling myself getting irritated or feeling some kind of way, I'll say, Lord, help them today that they can be the best version of themselves. Anything. And then I realized, okay, I could be part of the problem too, because if I'm praying for them, because I'm trying to counteract my bad feelings, and I could be contributing to why this situation is the way it is, and so it gives me a chance to kind of look at myself too. So all these things incorporate what this channel is about, right? It's discovering Erica. I'm discovering my relationship with my sweetheart. I'm discovering my relationship with Noodle. I'm discovering my relationship with you. I'm discovering my relationship with me and who I am in life after 40, right? And I'm discovering different things about myself, and I'm giving myself permission to be vulnerable, to stand up for myself, but also to be kind and to try to be more loving to other people, to try to be more healthier, to try to be more positive, to put myself out there. YouTube is it's a platform that you are putting yourself before thousands of millions of people if you can get that kind of audience. Where I've been and where I'm going, and I'm learning how to enjoy the journey. So there you go. And so thank you, River. I am doing the best I can with what I have, and the Lord is making up the difference. And so that gives me some relief that I'm not doing it by myself, that I have help. And so I'm grateful that we got a chance to just have a heart to heart. I'm glad Bob got a chance to stop by. I haven't had a chance to just kick it with my friend in a very long time. I know that he was dealing with the cold and the snow and everything in Oregon, so it's glad to see him. Deborah, it's always wonderful to see you and chit chat with you, and we get a chance to chit chat on our Bible study, so that's always great. Miss Margaret is always a faithful supporter who shows up every single time possible to just be here and be support. Usually Doc is here. She may not be feeling good. And so we just have to keep praying for her um to to um to get better, or that Maybe she's busy. Who knows? But we're missing her this evening. So I'm sure she'll see this video later. And I just want her to know that I'm thinking about her and I missed her sweet little voice in the chat. River, thank you for just showing up and coming and keeping the conversation rolling and just being a part of my journey. It has been some of your messages have been a highlight of my day. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, Deborah, we girls. Um, Let me see. Look up this poem. My father told me on shows. Okay. I would definitely look that up. And so, Cedric, thank you for coming through, my sweetie. He always comes through and hold me down, so I appreciate that. And so, I just want to say thank you, guys. I know I've held you up for almost an hour and a half, but it's been such a pleasure. I think we should catch up and just shoot the breeze and talk about absolutely nothing because we can, and we have a safe space to do that. So I hope you guys will join me Friday night for our Bible study. It's at 8 o'clock. I'm going to be working on that the rest of the week. As soon as I can get an itinerary together and get some consistent days off, me and Cedric are going to hit the ground running because we're just as excited as you are to see what's around here. And so we're going to be doing that. So I just want to say good night and that I love you guys and I hope you have a wonderful evening. And I'm going to take these people's shirt off because I've been off since 4 o'clock and I'm still sporting their gear. So I'll get a shower and relax and enjoy my fam. And I hope you enjoy your fam too. So good night, you guys. Love you.